Well, obviously, you sign all these deals and you're selling CDs, you're selling music. What about concerts? What about merchandise? Are these really important parts of your business model? I mean, how do you break up how you are generating revenue of these different channels? Is that something you guys think about?
I mean, me and him just now talked about it. We're still trying, we just now started talking about this before we got up here. Like, man, maybe me and you should do something together. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, we're making business deals while we're here, but it's because, I could have probably made a lot more off of merchandising and stuff like that. But like I was telling him earlier, I said, there's people that actually, I'll go to a merchandising company and they have the biggest thing. They have all these shirts. They are scalable. They can ship to everywhere in India. But then I'll be like, okay, well, let's look at the creative. And then they'll have a T-shirt, and it'll be just square, and it'll be my face on it. And I'm like, why do I want to sell something with my face on it? I wouldn't wear my face. You know what I mean? Not that I ain't pretty or nothing, but I wouldn't wear that. And I was like, let's do something to where anybody that doesn't know me is going to want to wear it. You know what I mean? They're gonna embrace it, and that person can be promoting for me. And a lot of them will be like, oh, no, we don't have the capability to do that. We kind of just upload a picture. And it's this big corporation, so I wouldn't do the deal with them. And then it'd be somebody that understands my creative part, but they wouldn't be able to do it. So I was just like, man, I need somebody that can, I'd rather not do that deal until I find somebody that can do it right. I believe in just doing it right. Me and him been kind of talking about that,
Yeah, I think nowadays it's about, starting every project with a multi-platform rollout in mind. So you think about your live show, you think about your potential TV play, music play, obviously, and then maybe there's a creative application that you can use as the hub for all this, or a website, where you create a community around each project, So that's how we view things when we're, with Lil Wayne, for instance, we have an iPhone app. We're creating a microsite for it. And everything is about building communities around it so that you can basically direct market to the people who care the most, and then they can help you spread the word. So I think it's creating projects where each platform focuses on the unique functionality of each platform. Where each play focuses on the unique functionality of the platform. So if you're doing a mobile play, what's the unique functionality that a mobile phone has that you can create a standalone opportunity with, So I think that's, how to probably look at it from here on, instead of treating it like a record that we're then going to send out to all these other outlets the same way. Treat each platform like it's its own project, and then make each platform synergize with the next. I think that's really what the majors still probably need to figure out at this point, is how do you tie it all together synergistically instead of having everything separate.
Great answer.
And the business model's changed too, because the average person might have a blueprint of what they think they're supposed to make money off, this, and that, but so many other people can come in with ideas that you weren't even thinking about. I always use fans. I had the fans naming my album, I had them doing everything, but you can learn so much from them that, one time I did a contest, I was like, okay, I'm looking for creative, innovative people. I want to see who could think up the best idea for this. And kids were sending me emails about iPhone apps and stuff. I was just looking at them and I was like, wow. I called my lawyer hey man, what do I got to do to do business with this dude to where he doesn't sue me? You know what I mean? And then he was like, well, you got to get, so I'm instead of just taking this kid's idea, I was like, I want you to keep on coming with more ideas like that and let's do business on this idea. It might be somebody 17 years old in Waco, Texas. The lawyers will tell me, oh, you can't do that because you have to be over 18, and we'll figure it out, you know what I mean? But they'll come up with so much stuff, and the reason why that works, it just created a whole new revenue for me that I didn't know exists, because this is the person that's actually the consumer that's using that stuff. They have all the apps. They're the ones testing it. I don't have the time. So they told me all the good and bad things about every app and what's not good so he kind of did all the market research for me already. And they'll just send it to me in a nice email, and I'm just reading it wow, this is genius. So I kind of use people. I think that's what majors lost. They always shove a song down your throat instead of asking you what you think, you might love whatever, Hinder or One Republic or whatever. They'll give you one option, and this is the single, and they're forced it at radio instead of giving you an option. And then that's why the album comes out and everybody picks the song that they like. I think people need to do more of that. Interact with people. When you go to tech conferences, there's all these people and they're in competition with each other, but you never know. It could be one company that could work with another and they can gel together and they might be able to build Voltron,
Yep.
So.
No, I think that's a great point. I would say 90% of the feedback that I take on our content, even when we're creating ideas and formulating them, come from just regular users online, because they're the ones who understand the market the best. they're the people we're serving, and I'll have a lot of conversations with them, in chat rooms and forums and Twitter, wherever else, and I incorporate that feedback almost more than I do with my in-house producers, because their sensibilities are right on point, and those are the people we're serving, and obviously that's who we want to please with the content. So in terms of fielding ideas, taking feedback from them, we take that really serious, and I think that the majors, in a lot of ways, they still look at it like we're the dictators and we tell you what you're going to like and that sort of thing. And I think the more humble you can be about the creative process and realize that, they probably know better than you at this point, I think, the better off they'll be. And I think that's really probably the biggest hurdle for the majors right now, is they're trying to bring it back to the dictatorial way. But like I said, you can't buy your way into markets as easy today as you could before. You could run the greatest ad in the world, for a car or what have you, or a record or whatever, and then people go on Facebook and be like, how is it? And if the response is negative, that's it. They trust their peers more than they trust an ad, so it's a no-brainer, really.